Welcome to Mr. Lister's Music Notes. Hello Year 5 and welcome to the first of my online music sessions. We're going to be looking at the rhythms we studied last term and also learn about musical instruments that would have been heard and seen in ancient Egypt. We'll also learn about the young boy king, King Tutankhamun, and learn a song about him. Later on, if you have a tuned instrument at home like a keyboard or a glockenspiel which goes from C to C, you can learn the Tutankhamun piece as well on that instrument. But first you will need to make a simple hitting or shaking instrument to use with our rhythm work. Can you find a plastic box like this and maybe put a little bit of rice or pasta in it to create a shaker? And I suggest you put an elastic band around it just in case the lid suddenly comes off, just to keep it really secure. We don't want rice all over the floor. And what about a drum like this? A tin or a plastic sweetie box will do as well. Just something to make the rhythm work a bit more exciting. So, will you now pause the video, find your rhythmic instrument, and in a moment I will see you again. Hello again. Have you got your instrument handy? Something like this you can bang? Anyway, you're going to need it shortly, not just yet, but shortly. So last term we looked at different time values, and the first time value that you remember will be this one, the crotchet, all right, which we know is worth 1 beat. Yep. Okay, there. So the crotchet, it gives us this fundamental beat in all our music. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we know that one and we've seen that one many times. However, you also came across another one which was called the minim, and the minim is worth 2 beats. Right, that means worth 2 beats. So this time, if we count our crotchet and we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You can hear, of course, how the minim is worth 2 beats. It takes longer to get through the minim than it does the crotchet. Then, of course, we had the one that's worth 4 beats, which, if you remember, is this one here, and it's of course the semi-breve. The semi-breve. Well, here's the semi-breve. If we're still counting our crotchets are still going this speed. 2, 3, 4, 1. If I was to hold the semi-breve length, it would be this: 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Okay. That's how those work. And the one, of course, that we've not mentioned yet, there is my little list here, which you know all about, is of course the quaver. Well, the quaver, there it is. All right, written as a single one, but most of the time you'll see it like this. It's beamed across the top of that, and the quavers are the fastest time value that we've looked at so far. And if we go back to our crotchet beat, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, our quavers are going to be twice as fast as that, aren't they? Okay, so you've hit 2 of them for every crotchet. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And if I keep the crotchet going in the left hand, 2, 3, 4. The quavers in the right. You can hear how quickly those quavers move. So that, of course, is what we were looking at with our rhythms last term. So now we're going to have a look at the hands and knees rhythms. Do you remember those? Well, we don't need to worry about doing those hands and knees. We're going to have a look at those rhythms again, but I'm going to play them through and demonstrate it. You'll hear me talking, and I'd like you with your instrument. So if the rhythm happens to be this, that's what I tap, then you'll just repeat it back to me. But what we're going to be doing is looking at the rhythm first before we do it, because there's no point you just copying what I do. The point of what we're doing, of course, is for you to understand how to put those rhythms together. All right, so that's what we're going to do. Well, here is our hands and knees page, which you'll recognise from the work we did last term. And of course, it's looking at these different rhythms. Look at this first one here. And you can see we've got crotchet, crotchet, quaver, quaver, crotchet, crotchet, quaver, 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 crotchet. Now I'm going to tap that out, and then I'd like you to play it on your instrument, and I will count the beats for you, but obviously I won't do the actual rhythm. All right, remember it just repeats here, so you can carry straight on to this bit here. All right, so this is what it sounds like. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you have a go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There, how well did you do with that? Okay, let's try this next one. Here is this phrase, which ends with a minim, a long note. Of course, you can't sustain that, but we can still tap it, can't we? All right, and it goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you try. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, good. Let's try number 2. It starts with these minims, these long notes, doesn't it? So again, it's repeated here again. So this goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you have a go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Let's just do this one now. Again, it's repeated there. Goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and now you can have a go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Now, number 3 starts off like that, but it's different here. And do you think you could play this one without me telling you how it goes? Let's find out. So this is how this bit goes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Have a go doing the whole thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Let's try this one. It doesn't repeat here either. It's different. This is how this bit goes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you have a go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now the last one down here. All right. Well, I'm not going to tap this one out. I want to see if you can clap it straight through to here and then straight through from there to there. All right. So here we go. I'm going to count you in just up to here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. How did you do? How did you do? I'm going to now play that for you, and you can play along with your instrument as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. How did you do? Last one, same thing again. You have a go at playing this all the way through. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Did you manage it? Let's see. Here it is, me playing it for you. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello, now your topic this term is ancient Egypt, and already you'll have done some work on that. I'm sure that Mr. Hall has set you. So what do you know about ancient Egypt? You know, this is the topic you're doing. Well, I can give you 10 facts about ancient Egypt, and I wonder how many of these facts you actually know. So, most ancient Egypt pyramids were built as tombs for pharaohs. I bet you already knew that, and their families. But do you know how many pyramids have been found in Egypt? Over 130. That's a lot of pyramids, isn't it, to be building? But then we are talking 3,500 years ago. It's a long time. The afterlife was really important to Egyptians. They believed that by preserving a dead person's body, which they did through a process called mummification, the soul would live forever. And that's really, really important when in your understanding of ancient Egypt. They did really think they went somewhere on a great journey when they went up into to be with their gods. The Pyramid of Khufu in Giza, that's the biggest pyramid, probably one you've always seen, all right? Okay, it's the largest one ever built. This incredible structure weighs as much as 16 Empire State Buildings. There you go. Both Egyptian men and women wore makeup, and they did this partly to protect themselves from the sun, and as well as hoping that it had some sort of magical healing power as well. Unwrapped, the bandages from an ancient Egyptian mummy could stretch 1.6 kilometres. That's a lot of bandage, isn't it? I reckon it is. The ancient Egyptian alphabet contain more than 700 hieroglyphs, and learning to read hieroglyphs happened in the 19th century when something called the Rosetta Stone was discovered. When the Rosetta Stone was discovered, they discovered on this Rosetta Stone that there were a number of languages, and one of those languages was ancient Greek, and everything on the stone was saying the same thing, all right, because it had been put there by a very famous pharaoh. And as they already knew ancient Greek, these great scholars in the 19th and 20th century, they then immediately realised they had a clue of how to translate the hieroglyphs that up until that point they didn't know how it worked. Anyway, so that happened. They believe in over 2,000 deities. That's another word for gods. All right, and every god had some role in their life, ranging from looking after them in dangers to dealing with household chores like sweeping. The two famous Egyptian deities for music and dance are Hathor and Bes, and we'll come back to that. Cats were considered very sacred in Egypt. All right, most families kept cats because they thought they brought good luck. The ancient Egyptians loved playing board games. We play a lot of board games, don't we? But they loved playing board games, and one main one was called Senet, which you can still play today if you want to, and it's been played for over 2,000 years. And it requires throwing sticks the same way we throw dice. And finally, the ancient Egyptians invented lots of things we still use today, such as paper, pens, locks, keys, and even toothpaste. There you are, I give you 10 facts there. How many of those did you know? Right, okay. So, the ancient Egyptians also loved music. They had music for all occasions, just as we do today, and we know that they had instruments from looking at the wall paintings that we find in tombs and on the temples. So the main gods of music we've already mentioned are Hathor and Bes. We're now going to look at a video of ancient Egyptian musicians and instruments. The two main gods were Hathor and Bes. Now we're going to see some Egyptian ladies who are playing instruments. What do you think the one on the right is playing? Yes, it's more like a harp, isn't it? Here we have a chap on the right. I think he's playing the cymbal. Here we have a lady who's playing obviously some type of lute. But if you look at these pictures carefully, what do you notice? They're very similar to the ones we have today. Have a look at these ladies now. What are they playing? So, the Egyptians had string instruments. They had harps and lyres. We have harps today. They also had a lyre and a flute and a guitar. And then we have percussion instruments called sistrums, which are rattlers. We have castanets. And of course we have bells and we have cymbals. Not forgetting the drum. They also had trumpets and they also had flutes. So we can see that in this very short and simple video that the ancient Egyptians had quite a few instruments which they could make music with. The harp, the lute, the sistrum, bells, drums, trumpets and flutes. One of the most famous pharaohs of the kings of ancient Egypt was the boy king Tutankhamun. He lived around 1341 BC, that's about 3,300 years ago. And in our next session we're going to find out a lot more about him, who he was and what made him famous. Because really, as a pharaoh, he wasn't that important. He only lived from the age of 9 to 18. There were far greater pharaohs around, like Ramesses I and II and Akhenaten. There were far greater pharaohs than that. But King Tutankhamun is the one that everyone remembers, and we'll find out why. Now, here is a song that we're going to learn called Hail Tutankhamun. And you're going to hear me sing it with some words so you can have a go at doing it. Okay? Great one, mighty king, we salute you. O great one, mighty king, we protect you. Tutankhamun, pharaoh, master, Akhenaten's son. Tutankhamun, pharaoh, master, we're the wisest one. O great one, mighty king, we salute you. O great one, mighty king, we protect you. Tutankhamun, pharaoh, master, you're the wisest one. O great one, mighty king, we salute you. O great one, mighty king, we protect you. Tutankhamun, pharaoh, master, Akhenaten's son. that brings us to the end of this first session, and we've looked at rhythms, we've looked at composers, or if you're in year 5, we've looked at ancient Egypt, and I will come back again with another session next week. All right, thanks for joining me. See you then. Bye bye.